wanted to welcome you on behalf of Euclid Network very quickly. For those of you that aren't aware, Euclid Network is the European network for civil society leaders and senior professionals. And our role is really to connect those professionals across Europe, across borders, to connect citizens essentially, which is I think what civil society represents. The reason why we're here today is really to help Muslim charities in the UK primarily to raise their profile and raise more funding from Brussels. So again, it's about connecting citizens to Brussels, and I think that Euclid's role in this is not as an intermediary, but as an empowerer. So hopefully, from today's sessions, you'll hear from experts such as Dr. Hani about ways that Muslim charities can really improve their impact on this level, and it will have a direct benefit for your organisations and beneficiaries in the short and the medium term.
I'm very happy because now we are moving forward as Muslim Charities Forum. It's a new milestone in the thinking and the intellectual thinking of the Muslim charities to come together, to think forward together, think ahead, because we are part of a bigger globe, not our small globe or the ghetto or the country or the village you came from. This is some idea which I developed or I'm developing. Charity as an industry, our sectors which we cover include health, sanitation, water, education, empowerment, gender. It's beyond the imagination of one government. So if we think holistically at the scope of our diverse action, we'll be able to be a part of a huge industry. And this will raise our intellectual thinking. How can we look at things which might not be fruitful today, but will be fruitful in the next year or the next generation? And this is the charity as I'm thinking about it. I'm not the only one who's thinking this way, but too many people are thinking that way. So industry is our dream. So if we think industrially, it's not materialistically. When you think about the big scope you are covering, this is actually the challenge. So if you want to put the pyramid upside down and upset Khufu and Khafra and the kings of Egypt, have no problem. So really this is the big challenge for us. Those who have to come out of this, it's not bad to have some seasonal activity, but you have to be thinking forward. Why are you going to Europe for? Why you want Euclid to come and help you to go to Brussels? It's about money, waste of time. Money is not the only thing. This is more important than money. This makes money. Money does not make man or woman. I've got 6W. Why EU should be working with us. The 6W, the first W is who you are. Why should they work with you? Who you are comes from your structure, your leadership, your literature, your value, your mission, your message, your budget, your finance, your history, your credibility. So this is the first W. Who you are. Okay? The second W of my W factor, what you do. Okay? You do education, you do water sanitation, you do health, you do community work, you do women empowerment, you do children, you look with the president, okay, you look what kind of you do, and you have to show them that actually this is what your speciality is, what you do. The third W of the W factor is where you work. They found that your budget is £1 million and you work in 25 countries. It becomes like a joke. That's right? Yes, you can just £10,000 here, £10,000 here, £10,000 here. So you can't do that. Or if you are in Somalia as one country and you work with all the provinces with £200,000. It's another joke. The fourth W. Okay. Why should we work with you? Very simple question. Might have a stupid answer, might have no answer. You're not just a pretty face. Okay? You have to produce something. You have to have the added value, not only for yourself, but for the donor. Because when the donor gives the money to you, said, yes, I give them the money. So you have to have an added value to be put on the table to those people, to convince them, change their mind, maybe as Sarah said, to preempt actually, or to plan for the new, or for the future, a plan for them. So why should I work with you? This is the fourth W. I don't know how many W's I have. How many W's?
You said 6.
No, you count.
Yes, now 5.
Whom you know. Whom you know is very important. You have to realize whom you know, because you have a meeting with them, then they have many meetings with one another, and they talk about you in your absence. So if they don't know you, it's your problem, not their problem. And whenever you meet anybody, just give them the card and talk about your organization. Whom you know is very, very important. Most of the decision is based on your credibility and whom you know. I think the last W is very important. Where can we meet? For a cup of tea, for a cup of coffee, Starbucks, whatever you call it. So without having this 6W, the W formula on your table, see, the technicality which Sarah talking about it is exactly very important, but the social element of it is there. And it takes a lot of time. It's not just you apply today, you get it tomorrow or next year. It takes a lot of investment. It's not something, because once you open the door, you are in. But how to open the door?
I think the EU has quite a lot to offer, because the EU is genuinely a very open international organization. The European Commission in particular responsible for both proposing EU legislation and administrating and implementing it, is very open for dialogue with all organizations, including the very small. And we try to reach out actively through our different ways of conferences and websites and consultations to all. So I don't think there is a major difference with the way we work between the bigger and the smaller organizations. I hope that smaller organizations who have a message and they want to share with us are very welcome to engage with us. I think it's brilliant. First of all, it's a very positive experience for me to come here to meet with this group. And the questions are showing exactly that it is a very interesting and interested group. I am very happy that I feel that they want to engage much more with the EU and present the views of the different organizations who are here today. I welcome that, and I've looked at the program, and I think it's an interesting program where I hope that participants will go away understanding better how to do it, and also that it is in both their and our interest that they do it. We would very much welcome a continued dialogue with the organizations present here today.
Well, I think an opportunity to contribute to policy making, and I think it can also offer support in different ways. The EU is a complex organization, so the more you learn about us, the more successful you're likely to be, both in influencing how policy develops and also in ensuring effective support. And that can be financial, but it can also be and have other aspects. I think it was very interesting. I think it's the start of a relationship, but I think it's particularly important because it's also involving the Muslim community, NGOs here in the UK, and I think that's very important in terms of inclusivity and also the particular flavour that Muslim NGOs can bring to what we're doing at the EU. The EU is about diversity, and the more diversity we have, the better, working for the same set of values.
Firstly, networks and contacts, which is always useful for our organisation, and secondly, attending these kind of beneficial workshops and raising awareness about perhaps issues that I'm not too familiar with, so that's a real big help for us. Just learned a lot more about the EU, the European Commission, the European Parliament, and understanding how important it is for us as Muslims to make an impact at that level, at the European level.
I think what the MCF does is pull together the Muslim organisations across the UK, and what's really useful about that is that we're also busy in our local work that we don't look up from our desks and come to these workshops and really learn a lot more, and also to network is a great networking opportunity.
This is the first time actually I work with a Muslim organization, and it has been an experience because actually through engaging with MCF I've learned quite a lot about these mysterious Muslim organizations which are actually not fairly portrayed in the media. And from the beginning I think the first time we met is 2 years ago, and we have discussed about organizing this event to provide a platform for Muslim NGOs and charities to engage in Europe with Europe. And finally, here we are. So I would say MCF delivers, which is the most important thing for an organization. And it was not so difficult to organize it. It was good, and I love how the organization has brought many other organizations on board. So it's like a real network, an open space. Now, this is for me just the beginning, not the end. We got interesting participants like Paul Adamson, which is one of the top lobbyists in Brussels, and actually has never worked with Muslim or faith-based organizations. A very secular actually person, and he has discovered this new field, and now he wants to do more.